Hi, I'm Wanda Montemayor and welcome to Quaran-teens. Don't forget to subscribe. Today's the 2-for-1 combo pack. So we're gonna talk about ways to combat what Bessel van der Kolk calls a pre-trauma state that our country is going through. I'm gonna give you 2 tips on that, and then we're gonna talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm gonna give you some family ideas and ways that you guys can celebrate that. So first, let's talk about the pre-trauma state and what that means. So there is this knowledge that there's danger out there. And so just automatically we're all kind of putting up our defenses because we know that there's a contagious virus on the loose. So how you combat that is a couple ways. One way that he recommends is having a really good routine. And not just a routine, like this is where your classes are, but also a sleep schedule. Sleep is critical in wellness as a general rule. So not just sleep routines, but even just a 5-minute warning. So whenever you're like, hey, we gotta go move and do this, the more that you can give your family members, like, hey, in 5 minutes, we're about to have dinner. In 5 minutes, we're about to transition, reminding of those transitions and just creating that safety of expectation just really helps create that safety. The second idea I have for you guys, and this is where we get the combo pack, is sensory. We're all very sensory deprived right now. We're in front of the screens. Hopefully everyone's going outside and walking because that is also a big tool. But incorporating more sensory in your teens and kids' lives. So things like stress balls, squishies, things that just engage the senses. If you think about it, in nature, we have the smell of the earth, or even at school, we have the smell of axe, and all kinds of things are going around. So we get all of this awesome sensory experience. And then when you're just restricted, you need to help engage that. So this is the next awesome part, is that we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So there's some really great things that you can do with your family. The first one is to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. Just taking a moment where you just remember the person you love. And just having a comfortable conversation and rejoicing and having a remembrance. So talking about sensory. So having that very specific, intentional time with our family is really important. So just having that set up. I chose my grandmother. Here's an example of a little altar, a little ofrenda. And you can do something like this, or you could just put up a photograph and just take a moment and celebrate them for Day of the Dead. And you can even decorate. It doesn't have to be really fancy. Here's a little miniature ofrenda that I made, and you could just set something up. But engaging the senses will help your kids regulate, and it'll also be fun. So for those of you who are really busy like me, I love me some Model Magic. You can buy it at all the stores, H-E-B, one of my favorite stores in the world. Then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of squish it. So you can even make fun things about the person that you love, like what's something that they love to eat. You can make that out of the Model Magic. It's very pliable. You could do something as simple as making a skull. So let me show you how to do that. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna just get your clay, you're gonna squish it out, and then you're gonna make a little skull just by kind of squishing like that. Another little trick is that you just think about it being a heart, like the nose is a heart. And I just make 2 little lines like that for the nose, and I make my eyes, and all the time just kind of really enjoying it. I like to work on cardboard because that way it's easy to pick things up. Just some piece of recycled is awesome. And then there's your skull. Model Magic dries really fast, and the other cool thing about it is that you could just use markers. Markers are paint to decorate it, and you can get really fine details like flowers, like maybe you want to celebrate your deceased with like a flower. So it's a little bit more pliable. Or you can even go old school. Let's make salt dough. Let's look how to make it. Today we're gonna be making some salt dough. Very simple ingredients: 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of salt, and 1/2 cup of water. So the first thing we're gonna do is let's get measuring. So we need 1 cup. I like this because I know I'm gonna get the perfect measurement. Okay. We need half a cup of this guy. I'm gonna use the big, and I just happen to have pink Himalaya salt. You can use whatever salt you desire. I'm just going with what I got. Okay. And then half a cup of water. Okay. Ooh. Here's the fun part. I'm gonna add a little bit in. Just mix with your hands. Just keep mixing. Kind of get it going. And I have a little bit of salt water left over. Kind of pour it as you need it. And then how are you gonna bake this? After you get your salt dough right consistency, you're gonna bake it on low, whatever your lowest setting is in your oven, for 3 hours. And actually, cool thing is if you don't want to and you have the space on your countertop is you can actually just let it air dry. Just remembering that every day you're gonna wanna flip it so that way it dries evenly. And I didn't actually use all the water, but I think I've got that good consistency. There's just a little bit left. But my dough fills, it's balling up. You want it to have you want it to be a dough ball. Okay. And that is it. Next up is rolling it out, or even just using your hands to make your shapes. We'll be right back and we're gonna show you what we're gonna do with this. See how we can use it, okay? So I love rolling it in my hands, just getting that squishy, and it's kind of sticky. You can make anything with this. I like to make little dishes. You can make little bowls. You can make little plates. Like what kind of food would you want to put on there, right? That's gonna be just a little plate. You can make pretty much anything you can use a cookie cutter with. So these are just some of the few things that you can do with the salt dough. I'm gonna make this one into a skull. So you notice it's a little bit harder to work with. So we're gonna keep a very simple design, and I'm gonna make my little skull with this. See how that works. Yeah, that turns out really good. Perfect. Might even start making my flowers, right? Salt dough could be painted. You could also use markers. It's up to you how to use it. Stay strong, stay healthy, wear a mask, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.